Hey, book reader friends, I want to hop on, even though my goal is to do these every other week, and I am staying consistent with that very happily, so that I can finally say that. This one's going to be a short one because I have some things going on in my family that is taking my full-time attention, but I still think it's going to be a valuable video, so I wanted to put it up anyway. And since my husband is waiting for me, I wanted to hit record, get this one out for you, and then hop on about the weekend, I guess. Hop on and get my husband. We'll start with what I'm currently reading. I just started Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wang, and I am very nervous about this book. I said throughout the year that November, December would be smaller reads. This is not a small read, you guys. This one is a minimum of 600 pages. Yeah, 600 pages. I'm excited for it. I bought it with anticipation of starting immediately, but it has been sitting on my shelf. But it's been calling me, along with a few others. I think I figured out roughly 130 of my books haven't been read on my TBR. So I have many books calling me, but this one really has been. I've heard that it is a slow start and potentially a slow entire book. I'm curious what you all think of it. If you've read it, put some comments below. Let me know what you think of the story. And should I wait maybe until the new year? But I have started. I'm about 6% in. I have combined it with Kindle and audiobook, even though I have the actual physical book right here. But let me know, what do you think of that one, if you've heard anything or if you've read it yourself. The other book I'm anticipating, and I was supposed to start this book with my husband. Now I'm not so sure, because again, I said small reads for the last 2 months of the year. While this one's not the most large book ever, it's over 500 pages, probably closer to 530, and that is Brandon Sanderson's Elantris. I can't talk today, so I apologize, but I have, let's see if you can actually really see that. I really have been looking forward to that, and it was my idea, like, hey, let's just pick this up and read it together. I got my husband a copy, got me a copy, and then it has sat on the shelf. So one of us made the decision to make this a December read together. He reads faster than I do, so I need to start now, the middle of November. We'll see how that goes. Again, if you have read it or heard some comments on it, put those down below for me, because I need to know if either of those books are good selections for December for me. I'm really nervous. I really was looking for some easy reads, but I'll be honest, I've read so many through the month of October and November, or the first 2 weeks of November, I guess I should say, that are light, airy, beautiful, cozy. I just want something a little intense right now. Truthfully, I think there's something calling me saying I want a murder book. I'm ready for a mystery suspense. Someone died, and if it's in the woods, even better. I am really, really feeling that call to me. So if you have any suggestions for those, I'd appreciate that too, because I looked through my list on my Kindle last night and I don't see anything calling me right now. There was a book by Lisa Jackson that I got from my mother-in-law. She read it, loved it. I had contemplated that one, so I may, or maybe we'll make it an addition to the November, December reads. All right, what have I finished reading? Finally, I think it's taken me a better part of the year to finish How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying. Django Wexler. I'm just gonna say this book was not for me. And I hear that sentiment throughout social media, throughout YouTube, throughout TikTok. And it's really sad because there's moments of this book that it is spectacular. It is funny. It has those double over laughing or those giggle moments, you know, that are just like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. But it felt like Mr. Wexler was working out something that this book was not targeted for. Should I say this? It's like someone was working out a fantasy and decided to make it a fantasy book, which, you know, there are moments of this book that felt too try hard and too working out my fantasies in my writing. If that's okay, if that's what you want to do, that's okay. Choose to market the book to a different genre it was too repetitive because you kept trying to make the same points over and over and over and out throughout the whole book. And that made it miserable to read. And so I switched to audiobook at the point where it got more sexually intense, that while I don't mind sexually intense, I love it, especially if that was the book I chose. This book wasn't marketed that way. It was marketed to be funny. It is, but it was a little too try hard for me. It was like trying to bend a boundary and it just didn't work. Let me be repetitive, similar to that book. Not for me. That book, I did not DNF. I pushed through because my husband liked it, sort of. I can see why he did. There were some Dungeons and Dragons moments in there. And the comical side of it was extremely cute and funny. I didn't care for the main character or the storyline. The storyline could have been better developed, and the book could have been a little smaller and a lot more enjoyable, honestly. Anyway, moving on. The other book that I just finished was Dreadful. I'm not going to botch Caitlin's last name. I'm wanting to, but I'm not going to. But, okay, I think I'm going to echo the sentiments of all of social media about this book. It is so freaking cute. It is darling. It is sweet. It is funny. A dark wizard who has forgotten a spot in time of his life. And before that, now he is trying to figure out who he is now, who he was, and how people perceived him then versus how they perceive him now, how he used to behave versus how he behaves now, how he interacted and how he interacts, how he should and shouldn't respond. It is very, very fun book. It's fast. I can't really say anything negative about this book. Where How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying was probably only going to be a 2-star for me. This one got a 4.5. I really did enjoy it. I would lay in bed reading it at night on my Kindle and would just giggle. I did that with How to Become a Dark Lord until there was a point where I no longer did. This kept it consistent throughout the entire book, and it made it a lot more fun to read, a lot more fun to listen to, because I did switch over to audiobook at the end. This week has been kind of crazy, so audiobook has been a lifesaver. I use Spotify, just a little quick note. I use Audible, and I use Hoopla. If you're curious where I get my audiobooks from. I'm gonna lose Hoopla eventually. I'll explain that more later, but that is how I've been listening to my books. This one I was listening to on Spotify and reading on Kindle and Hoopla, actually. Hoopla has this one. So if you did want it on audiobook, you didn't want to buy the book, they have it. If I'm not mistaken, Libby has it as well, but both of those depends on your library access. So check it out. They might have those for you. I will probably do another video on other books that I may read for December, and I might do a 5-star wrap-up review in the coming weeks. But I want to say thank you for being here. I am so sorry that this one's a little bit shorter, but I will be doing another one very soon. Stay tuned. Please subscribe and follow so you'll know when I'm posting. And thank you for being here. And I do appreciate your comments below. I do read those and I do respond. So thank you and have a great day, you guys. Bye.